The Joe Biden administration, the Joe Biden regime, folks, has struck again, has granted some student loan forgiveness while progressive lawmakers push for more in cancellation. Here's who's eligible so far. So first of all, I want to be very clear. I haven't really been paying attention to the government too much because there's just so much going on in my life, and I just don't care about what Joe Biden is doing for the most part. Now, I also know that he can theoretically, by theoretically, I mean it's very possible for him to forgive all student loans because most of student loans are in debt to the U.S. government, and the U.S. government should not profit off of citizens. In a way, in a roundabout way, it's indentured servitude, in my opinion. So, but that being said, this is still better than nothing. But let's read this article and see what's going on. This is published August 27th. Let's get the scoop. The Biden administration recently announced it would forgive $5.8 billion in student loan debt for over 300,000 disabled Americans. It just disabled Americans? That's interesting. It's the administration's third round of student loan forgiveness this year, meaning they've forgiven $8.7 billion in debt for 450,000 borrowers, according to Fortune. Well, $8.7 billion seems like a lot in student loan forgiveness, and it is. Borrowers owe an astounding collective $1.7 trillion in debt. If high school is free, college should be free. Education should be free. We should all, by the sheer fact that we are human beings on planet Earth, we are all owed the collective knowledge and intelligence of our entire species. That should not be paywalled by any institution. No institution should be able to gatekeep someone from having access to information that is collectively owned by the human species. If someone discovers something, all of us should discover something. If someone discovered something 300 years ago, all of us should reap the benefits of that discovery. We should all learn from each other at every step of the way. Education and knowledge being an industry is disgusting, it is grotesque, and it is anti-human. In my opinion, it is a crime against humanity. The very fact that we are human, we are a social species. For thousands and thousands and thousands of years, we carried information down from generation to generation via storytellers. There was no writing, there were no books, there were no statues. People love statues, right? We taught generations and generations of people things about the world, how the world worked, to our understanding via stories. Did people charge for these stories? No, because this was how we propagated information. The idea that knowledge, that training, right, is paywall, to me is disgusting and evil, and no one should profit off of the realizations, the discoveries, and the work of other people. That being said, I understand people have a way of teaching that is their own unique work, and all people should be compensated for all the work that they do equally. This is why I'm a communist. If we don't have an industry about education and they're all, free, right? How are they going to pay their bills? Well, first of all, professors don't need to be making significant, amounts of money. School teachers and professors should be all paid a flat rate. Every teacher should be paid a flat rate, and that rate should be extremely high. In fact, it should be the same rate that everyone gets for all of their work, because all work is equal in a society, because we can't have a generation of steel workers or electricians if we don't have a generation preceding them who taught them how to do those things. All people deserve all kinds, I'm going off on a rant here. But either way, Joe Biden's doing this shit. Who's eligible? It was announced on March 18th, students for American Career Institute would receive loan forgiveness. The reason? These institutions took part in illegal or deceptive practices. When announced, 72,000 borrowers with a combined $1 billion in debt were eligible for forgiveness with their approved claims. More information from the U.S. Department of Education here. More institutions were announced to have participated in shady practices. So they're only doing for-profit for colleges. That's amazing. Most recently, on August 19th, the Department of Education announced 323 disabled borrowers with a combined $5.8 billion in student loan debt were granted forgiveness. That's good. But again, here's what's an interesting fact. You can declare bankruptcy on all debt except student loan debt. Isn't that interesting? We have a system in our government, in our society, that says, whoa, buddy, you're in too deep. We'll give you a get out of jail free card. Bankruptcy, except for your student loans. Again, indentured servitude. You are tied to this dollar amount that you have to pay that is increasingly going up because the government is profiting off of you. If student loans were just you borrow $10,000 and you pay $10,000 back, maybe adjusted for inflation, maybe. That's one thing. But the government is profiting. You are paying interest rates on the principal of the loan. That is ridiculous. If you borrow $30,000 so that you can become a master electrician, $300,000. I didn't go to college. I'm sorry. If you borrow that amount of money and over the course of your life you're paying back $900,000, that is ludicrous. But in a lot of these instances, people are being charged 200%, 300% interest. The U.S. government should not be in the business of profiting off of educating its students in any other way than reaping the benefits as a society. The society should profit collectively. If someone learns how to become a master architect and they discover a new way of manufacturing skyscrapers that will save thousands and thousands of dollars in every future building manufacturing, right? We should all reap the benefits of that, not just the U.S. government, not just specific industries. We should all reap the benefits of that. If someone discovers a faster way of travel, of transportation, like let's say maybe a light rail system or anything else like that, we should all reap the benefits of that, not just a few select industries, not just the United States government. So this is a decent first step, blah, blah, blah. But he needs to forgive and abolish all student loans. All college should be free. All education should be free. And we should move toward a communistic society. That's just my opinion, though.